Eyewitness Weather forecast.
And a pleasant Friday evening to everybody. I'm meteorologist Jordan Reed, tracking some showers and storms to start the weekend, and then we'll have a drier and pleasant second half of the weekend before the heat and humidity return for the last day of June on Monday. Let's take a live look right now at downtown Utica, where it is currently cloudy and 65 degrees. It feels almost kind of chilly compared to the 90s to close to 100-degree temperatures that we had earlier this week. That dew point is starting to come up as well. It's 61 right now and still making it feel like 65, but that dew point is definitely going to have an impact on tomorrow's forecast as well. We do have a warm front stalled off toward our west, which is the reason why it's much warmer here. It's 80 degrees in Buffalo, 74 in both Rochester and Dansville, but closer to home, 69 in Syracuse, and 65 downtown Utica, 61 in Old Forge, because of the fact that that's because Buffalo is on the other side of that stalled front, but it's making its way toward us, and that's the reason why we're seeing all the clouds and the showers out there right now. And you'll definitely notice the darker colors here on the dew point map, which means higher dew points. Right now, for most of us, they're between 55 and 60, and in Schoharie County, they're down into the 40s right now, but those dew points are going to come up again during the day tomorrow. We have seen some showers over the last couple of hours. We had some heavier ones within the last hour or two in downtown Utica, but it's mainly quiet with the exception of areas off toward the east like Fulton and Montgomery County, and then just to the south of the Thruway over portions of Madison, Onondaga County, back towards Syracuse and Rochester, where there was a bit of flash flooding going on. Tonight we'll see a lot of clouds, those on and off showers. There's that warm front making its way toward us late tonight into early tomorrow morning, and then we'll see a lot of clouds around midday. And then this cold front during the afternoon between noon and 6 p.m. could be the trigger for some showers and thunderstorms. But in its wake, we will have some nicer weather as we go through Sunday. So again, just a few strong storms possible for tomorrow, with strong winds, heavy rain, and lightning being the likely threat. The greatest threat is likely toward the south and east, a little bit less than that in Lewis County. But again, not a widespread severe weather event like we had last weekend. Out ahead of the front, though, we could see heat index temperatures make their way into the upper 80s, if not the lower 90s, with those dew points getting between 65 and 70, and temperatures themselves right around 80. So warmer than the last couple of days with those afternoon storms. Sunday is dry and pleasant, and a little bit less humid too, 80 to 85. Hot and humid as we go through Monday, with a risk of afternoon storms as another front makes its way toward us. And then Tuesday, we could see some scattered storms in there as well. 85 degrees in the wake of that front, though. The first couple of days of June, the second, or July, I should say, the 2nd through the 4th, will feature a mix of sun and clouds. We'll have temperatures in the upper 70s to right around 80, which you'll notice that's right where it should be for this time of the year as well. And 4th of July at this time, not looking too bad either. But we just have to get through the storms the next couple of days, as well as that hot, humid weather. On Monday, it looks like we could see, feels like temperatures around 95 to 100. But before we get to that, we also wanted to let you know about the Floyd Volunteer Fireman Field Days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's on Old Floyd Road off Route 365. Today it's going on through 11:30. The fish fry started at 4 p.m., but it goes until it's sold out. Music is by Taking Cover at 7:30. The ride special is Buddy Day, so buy one, get one. Tomorrow and Sunday, the fair goes from noon until 11:30, and both days the chicken barbecues from 4 until sold out. Tomorrow, more specifically, we have music by Modern Rewind at 7:30, and then the Oneida County Parade at 6:30. And then on Sunday, the music entertainment is by Joe Vandrazar with The Edge at 7:30, and then to wrap up the weekend, there are the fireworks at 10:15, which those should be a go right now with no threat of storms as we go through Sunday.
And Jordan, these events are very important to our local community, especially as all of these fire departments have been so active over the last week in recovery efforts following that storm system.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wish I had a little bit better news for the fair for tomorrow, but the good news is that as I mentioned, Sunday should be dry, which is good for the fireworks going off that day.
All right, thanks again, Jordan. Coming up next on
Now, your Eyewitness Weather forecast.
And a pleasant Friday evening to everybody. I'm meteorologist Jordan Reed, tracking some showers and storms to start the weekend on Saturday. However, it's not all bad news. We'll see a drier and pleasant Sunday before the heat and humidity return on Monday. So we got a lot to get to in the forecast. So let's take a look at downtown Utica right now, where we have a lot of clouds. Temperature right now 65 degrees, and that dew point is in the upper 50s, but it's going to be on the rise as we head through the overnight hours and especially especially during the day tomorrow briefly before it comes back down on Sunday and back up as we go through Monday. Winds right now out of the east-southeast at around 8 miles an hour, and the heat index obviously not being affected by it right now because the temperature isn't warm enough. Where it is warm right now is from Rochester off toward the west, where we've got that stalled frontal boundary still. So Buffalo's at 75, but they didn't feel like sharing the warmth with the rest of us. Rochester's at 70, Syracuse 68, downtown Utica 65. The cool spot right now is in Old Forge, northern Herkimer County at 60 degrees. Watertown is at 71. From the Utica area down toward the south and east, you've got dew point values. That's a measure of how much moisture is in the air. Really pleasant out there right now. Rather comfortable, upper 40s to lower 50s. We're in the mid to upper 50s, though, to the northwest. Watertown at 61. And those darker green shadings to the west of Syracuse, closer toward Rochester, are an indication of that warm front making its way toward us. Some warm, moist air ahead of us. And that means we'll have clouds during the overnight hours. Not much precipitation being detected on the radar right now. That was obviously a different story several hours ago when even here in Utica we had some moderate to even heavy downpours. So tomorrow morning that front will make its way toward us, so we'll have showers and clouds during the overnight hours, and then we'll have showers to start the day. You may get a brief break around midday, but then between noon and 6 p.m. that cold front crosses through the area, and temperatures will actually be slightly warmer as we go through Sunday, but it's a bit less humid because of that front. So because of the front, we'll have a few strong storms tomorrow afternoon with strong winds, heavy rain, and some lightning being the main threats. Although, as I've been mentioning the last couple of days, this is not a repeat of what we had last weekend. Last weekend was a different setup. This is just your more of a run-on-the-mill summertime cold front moving through with a few stronger embedded storms. Before that front moves through, it looks like we could see some heat index values making their way up into the middle and upper 80s, even though air temperatures will be into the lower 80s. And as far as rain the next 5 days, we could see as much as 2 to 4 inches of rain over the next 5 days, with most of that coming tomorrow, and then another wet day ahead of us on Tuesday as well, with another front making its way through. So warmer than the last couple of days for tomorrow. 80 degrees, right where we should be for this time of the year. We'll be between 80 and 85, I should say, on Sunday, with mostly dry and pleasant conditions. Getting up into the low 90s as we head through Monday. It'll be hot and humid with some afternoon and evening storms. Those will linger into Tuesday as part of that front moving through. But then look at that, Wednesday, Thursday, and then the 4th of July on Friday. Right where we should be for this time of the year, low humidity and a lot of sunshine in there as well.
I think we're all looking forward to maybe a slight possibility that that weekend might actually be somewhat sunny.
I hope so, because I know a lot of people are traveling and there's a lot of fireworks shows going on, not only this weekend, but next weekend as well for the 4th of July.
Well, one thing's certain, hockey season can't come soon enough, but hey, at least the draft is tonight. Eyewitness Sports Director Dorian Alert takes a look.
Thanks, Tom.
Now, your Eyewitness Weather forecast.
In a pleasant Friday evening, central New York, I'm meteorologist Jordan Reed, tracking some clouds and some spotty showers during the overnight hours, and then we'll have some showers and storms during the day tomorrow as well. Not so much the case right now. We do have a lot of clouds, though, in downtown Utica, 64 degrees, and that dew point is dwindling in the upper 50s to right around 68 degrees. It's at 58 right now, but it's going to continue to be on the rise during the overnight hours, and especially during the day tomorrow. The winds are out of the east-southeast at 6 miles an hour, so it's a little bit breezy out there right now, and the heat index same as the temperature. Off toward the west, though, because of that stalled frontal boundary now coming back as a warm front, it's warmer off toward the west. So Rochester's at 70, Buffalo's at 75, but unfortunately, they didn't feel like sharing the warmer air with us. That's just because the warm front hasn't made its way in our direction yet, but it will as we head through the overnight hours and during the day tomorrow. So we've been socked in with the clouds and a little bit of rain, and dew points right now down toward the south and east are in the upper 40s to lower 50s, but up toward the north and west we've got those dew points in the upper 50s to lower 60s, and you'll notice some of the darker green shadings heading off toward the edge of the screen there. That's an indication that the warm front is making its way toward us with warmer and more moist air. And obviously it's got some rain associated with it right now. The closest is towards Syracuse, Ithaca, a little bit of light rain out there, and that's going to continue to slide its way toward the east during the overnight hours. Thankfully, we won't see the flash flooding and severe thunderstorms during the overnight hours like Rochester, Buffalo did earlier this afternoon. That'll change, though, as we head through tomorrow. I'll get to that in a second. But there's the warm front making its way toward us at 6 a.m. You'll be seeing some showers. Some of those could be moderate to heavy at times, and then the warm front makes its way through in the afternoon, and then between noon and 6 p.m., the cold front is going to be the triggering mechanism for a few storms that may become strong to severe tomorrow afternoon and evening. The main threats being some heavy rain, some strong winds, as well as some lightning. But this is not the same setup as what we saw last weekend with that mesoscale convective system that produced all of the flash flooding and tornadoes. What we will see, though, before the cold front makes its way through, thanks to the warm front, is dew point temperatures that are on the rise, and as a result, heat index values will be at points in the upper 80s to around 90 for a brief period tomorrow. And as far as rain goes, over the next 5 days, we could see as much as 2 to 3, maybe 4 inches of rain, with most of that coming tomorrow, and again on Tuesday with another front making its way toward us. Temperatures tomorrow will be around 80, and even though we have a cold front making its way through the area tomorrow afternoon and evening, Sunday is warmer. It's just less humid, briefly. Mostly dry and pleasant, though, and then we've got hot, humid weather returning for the last day of June on Monday in the 90s, and then Tuesday's the first day of July, and it looks a little bit active right now with temperatures in the mid-80s, but then once we get to that, closer to the 4th of July, we'll have less humid conditions and a lot of sun, around 80 degrees, which is right where we should be.
So, Jordan, I know we're getting some rain tomorrow, but what about next weekend? Could we finally break this pattern of having storms in a weekend?
I'm crossing my fingers and toes that we do, hopefully. I hope those sun and clouds for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday hold on to the weekend as well, especially with the 4th of July on Friday.
Absolutely. It would be wonderful if we could have a nice sunny 4th of July weekend.
I'll keep you posted.
Coming up next on Eyewitness News at 11.